Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Yeah, let's continue then. Let's go to the map. There will be multiple capitals for every nation. Is that true, or?
Yeah. Every nation has its own capital, and they will have their own motherland as well, so to speak.
Okay. And will these capitals be like in World of Warcraft, where everyone is at some point surrounded by another country or faction, or will be more like For Honor, where we just have three sides and battling out in the middle?
Well, we want to have them placed, well, like I said, with the balance of the three nations, we want to have them placed around the middle of the map for strategic reasons.
Yes.
For the sake of this triangle map balance, the middle of the map is likely to have the guild-controlled territories. Things could change a bit in the future, or when the design is finally being implemented to some degree. But we want to keep the map designed to be as fair as possible. We're dealing with a PvP game with a partial loot system, after all, so
Yes.
any amount of unfairness or perceived unfairness even is quickly brought up to our attention. So yeah, that's the logic behind that. It will most likely be fighting over guild-controlled territories within the middle of the map. And
Okay.
the other cities around will be located on the outskirts.
And will bigger capitals, like the capital of a country, you will always be safe, just like Dunfen and sorts, right?
It depends. If it's something on a starting zone, maybe yeah, but
Yeah,
maybe
like
not if
what
it's something
Dunfen is
further out.
right now. That was what I meant. And then maybe you have really big cities that the enemy actually can take over.
Possibly, yeah.
Okay, cool. Because big city, I mean like Odenstedt, we can call Odenstedt a big city. Well,
Oh yeah, Odenstead,
Twinfall,
yeah,
Scarsdale, and everything is just a castle.
yeah. But I thought you meant capitals or something.
No. Yeah, that's a little bit what I meant indeed. Sorry. Then for my next question, like this map, I'm gonna send it to you right now. I'm gonna put it on for the viewers right now. Um, is this map still legit? Only we have to turn it upside down, right?
Um, yeah. I mean, I suppose, kind of. You don't have to turn it upside down. You can just turn Stoneholm upside down. Yeah, that map, I see it right now.
Oh, only Storm home. Okay. Then the enemies of the south is actually Nordheim. Okay, cool.
hmm
Okay. Looks good.
So, what about this map?
I'm sorry?
What about this map?
Yeah, if this was still what you were planning to make,
Okay.
that
Oh well.
that was it actually.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, okay. Well, that map is an old concept map,
Yes.
and that's not to say that it's completely inaccurate, but feedback is always changing the development approach to things, which means the map is likely to depict something quite different when it's completed. We should expect some changes to the overall look and possibly even scale of certain things,
Yeah.
which depend on a number of variables and factors, such as maybe finding ways to create new balance, for example. However, the general layouts of the nation homelands will be similar to what you see,
Yeah.
with the Ismerian homeland in the northern regions, the Azebs in the south, and the Midlanders in, well, the Midlands.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
pretty similar, but it's not exact. And the
Okay.
scope and scale might change as well, depending again on a few things. But yeah, don't expect it to be exact. But yeah, it's roundabout the same if you're going by. It depends on what you're judging it by. If you're judging it by kingdoms in places like that, similar. But if you're judging it by the exact outline, no, it
Okay.
might change. It's likely to change.
Okay. Then yeah, I had another question about the map. Are you guys able to stretch the map a little bit? Because this is maybe a personal opinion. Um, I feel like all the castles are pretty close to each other. Is it able to stretch the current map a little bit, so you have to walk further to get from Adenstedt to the Twin?
Yeah, it's possible, and it's probably likely to do something like that when there's mountains.
Okay, sounds great, because I also think that the sense of grandeur just comes out with a bigger map and just having to walk through mountains and that sort of stuff. And of course, just the sense of, oh, what's over there? Just exploring will be tenfold.
Yeah, it is, with that grandeur, I think it's the same with the wall height. The walls are quite low right now, so they need to be, I guess, stretched up. But unfortunately, that's not as easy as it sounds. I've actually talked to one of the designers about that, and he said he could, but it'll be floating in midair. Apparently, the models are not tall enough, so apparently they need to get some new models to make the walls taller. But yeah, the scope and scale could be changed a bit. The walls could be higher,
Yeah.
and the grandeur would be much more. So yeah, but I would say that it would happen if it happens, most likely during the mountains.
Okay, at the same time of the mounts, okay. And then, considering, now we're on the topic of mounts, Majestics ask, did they even started to work on mounts? Like, yeah, are you already busy on it?
What does he say? I'm going to suicide if I need to walk 40 minutes again from Odd to Abbey.
Yeah, do you see what the dev team is doing to the player base? Like, I already saw a video of some guy shooting himself in the head. Now, this Majestics guy. How dare you guys?
Okay, well, unfortunately, no, it's not being worked on. But it will happen, so hang tight.
Just hang tight to saying someone who wants to do suicide. That's not really PC, Fjord.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's also true. We're not working on the mount right now.
Okay.
There's a lot of other things that are taking priority, and I think the players would thank us if they realized what would happen if the mounts came out right now. It would be a mess, quite a mess. So there's a lot of things that need to be fleshed out first.
Like all the blitzkriegs that would be going on. No.
This guy Fury is 100% trying to kill the player base.
That's for sure. You know, all developers want to kill their player base. That's their one true purpose.
It's my secret plan.
It's your secret plan. Yes. Yeah, but the next big update after the map expansion and such are trading and boats, right?
You say trading and boats?
Yeah.
Trading, yes. Boats, they still have some time to be developed. Right now, the current priorities are the auction house and guild-controlled locations, new territory lands, and some general optimization fixes for combat and quests, and some other features that just need to be addressed before moving too far. But no, boats not right now.
Okay, so
but trading, yes.
First, just the two core things like PvP, trading, and PvE, and after that you would look into boats and just extra things for the game. Do I understand that correctly? Okay. Do you already have the concept of building boats?
Well, the specifics on boat building and most everything else regarding boats needs to be finalized. There are many thoughts and possibilities with them. Some of them I've mentioned to you before, I believe, in the past interview.
Yeah.
But there's still a lot that needs to be worked out before saying anything for certain. But I can say that the crafters will play a significant part with boat building. And as always, we want to create great value for our crafters. And this is a great opportunity for them. So it should be a whole other area of interest for the crafters to play around with. We'll be having crafters craft siege equipment and castles, of course, weapons and armor, and then boats. And these options, and with these options, it's likely to see specializations in each of these roles. So it'll be pretty interesting to see these new features when they're in the game, to see what happens with roles and crafters and see how that plays out.
Okay, yeah, because I can imagine that trying to make a boat will be something really expensive, so it will be something that a whole guild will have to work together to. And at the head of that will be the crafters.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds awesome. And do you think that you will be able to, if we hop on our boat, we can just jump out anywhere we want? Like we can just drop our anchor, jump out, and drown.
Well, you likely could drown, but hopping out randomly is unlikely due to the fact that the team wants to keep things a bit logical for the world and just general economy. You don't want to be just placing things randomly too much. I know it would be fun to place boats anywhere in the oddest of places just for a good laugh, but fortunately, for the sake of immersion, we're most likely going to have players dock them in specific ports. And if you remember, I told you a few months ago that it will be similar with something like a campsite, where you can place them pretty much anywhere, but only in logical areas, not in some random spot like in the middle of the ocean or on the edge of a cliff. So yeah, you'll have some freedom within boundaries.
Yeah, we will be able to just go anywhere, but we won't be able to just drop or shit off and jump off. Things like islands and sea combat will be introduced to the game, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm more than happy. Yeah, of course, they're gonna be really expensive, and we already talked about the mooring, just going somewhere. Then the trading. Can you give a small explanation about the coming trade system as it is with the first implementation of it?
Okay, well, so to give a quick summary for the general idea of the trade system, we will have what you could call a trade broker system, who will be able to, you'll have a broker who will be able to handle purchases and sell orders. And right now our trade system is very bare bones, but don't worry, it's definitely planned to, well, not be so awful as it currently is. For any technical details or technicalities and details on the trade system, you'd have to get Bartold particular, because I think he's the one that's working on that. And unfortunately, I know I told you that I'll try to get him on.
Yeah, exactly.
But unfortunately, he couldn't be here with us. He was on his off day, and it's just me now. But yeah, that would be a perfect opportunity for him to jump in. He knows more about that than I do.
Yeah. Okay, then right now we have Striker, and I had a similar question actually. Will there be more than one crafting inns? And with crafting inns, I'm gonna change that a little bit. Like, will there be more just small villages that are neutral to all factions?
Could you say the first part again?
Striker asks, will there be more crafting inns?
More crafting inns. Where does he say that?
In the chat.
Does he say it? I don't know. Okay, I'm just looking for it so I can see
it's the second question. Will there be more than one crafting inns? Like just villages and that sort of stuff that is almost always neutral. Will that be more implemented in the game?
Yeah, possibly, yeah. In other locations, yeah. In other little islands or main islands, sure.
Yeah, because that will also really add to the feeling that the game is alive, with just NPCs in the world itself just doing their thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to find the question, but I can't find it. In this guy, he says, "Ask Fury another question. I know you're watching the chat, so don't ignore us." Is he talking to me or you?
He's talked to both of us.
I'm
I
trying
guess.
to I'm
But
trying to watch it, but I seem to be
yeah,
lost
the question
somehow.
Striker asks is right above that one. But at least
Oh, I see. I see. I'm apparently blind.
that's helpful while reading. Okay. And now Majestic again. Is there any future update that may include Gamsons with your guild code? And I'm also gonna add shields and just everything we have. Is that gonna be implemented?
Yes, it will. And from
is
what
that
I
something
understand
we're
right now,
gonna get
go ahead.
with the next priority patches, or is that one of the extra patches, like what we talked about a little while ago?
It's not on a high priority, but it's
Yes.
not something that's too far in the future.
Okay.
So yeah, you'll likely see some some ability to put something, put your little guild emblem on your gambeson, or if you want, or your tabard actually. We're looking at, for instance, the what is it? Like for instance, the Corleonean chainmail. You
Yeah.
have the Midlanders. You have the little logo on the right side of the. They have like a little spot, and we were thinking maybe we could put some guild emblem there, and something, because we don't want, at least back then when I was told about it, they didn't want to completely change the tabard. They wanted to keep it mostly Midlandic. That might change. That might change. But yeah, there will be some iteration of guild emblems being put on tabards and definitely being put on shields. So the shield will have the entire design on it. If that's any consolation to anybody that wants to show off their logo.
Well, I'm more than happy with it. Nice.
And likely on
nice.
well. And what am I looking at on your screen with all of these scavengers?
Oh yeah. Have you... In one of I was just being cool and everything and doing the quest line in the Azebian part, and I jumped down to kill a couple of chickens. And well, it wasn't one chicken at one spot. It were about 15 chickens at each spot, which spawns in the end maybe 80 chickens against me. Wait.
Nice.
Yeah. I really was like, oh no, what the hell is this? I was just relaxing, listening to YouTube and all that good stuff. And then suddenly this happened. Just watch if you have the time for it one day. Yeah. Then let's get back to trading a little bit.